Guys, let's talk about the things that I don't like about my Toyota Supra. And some of these I might be nitpicky with. They're just things to me that I don't like. They're things that maybe bug me, or things that were kind of a little bit of a letdown for me. The first thing, so I'll throw an exhaust clip on here for you guys to be able to see what the Supra sounds like. But for me, this car was very underwhelming for me on the exhaust side of things. I bought a lot of V8s, and I know V8 doesn't compare to V6, but I saw a lot of YouTube videos out there, and it's really hard to determine sound in a YouTube video. But I was very underwhelmed by the sound of this car. Now, that's easily fixed with an exhaust, and everybody does it. You know, for me, when I spend all the money that I do on cars, or these cars, to drop another couple $1,000 on an exhaust, it's expensive. And parts for this car, they're not necessarily cheap. Exhaust systems are not cheap for this car. And that was probably the thing that was a letdown for me. I realized coming from a V8 to a V6 that it wouldn't be the same. But for me, it was probably one of the things that I really didn't like, and it let me down. Another thing that I haven't liked with this car, I don't ever feel like I've gotten used to these brakes. They are the most touchy brakes that I've had on all of my cars. I've had Brembos on all of my cars. I don't know what it is about the brake setup on this. I've had brakes that are just as big as these, and I don't know. The brakes on this car are very, very touchy. Whoever drives it about throws you through the front windshield because they are extremely touchy. You know, the car's got a couple thousand miles on it, so I mean, it's not like it, you know, they've been bedded in, you know, they're able to work, but the brakes have been ultra touchy. I don't know why. I've never had it. I bought all my cars brand new, Brembos, Mustang, Camaro, and for whatever reason, my Challenger, for whatever reason, these brakes are the most touchy that I've dealt with, and it makes the car kind of jerky. And I've gotten a lot better at it, but I really don't like that. Other things that I don't like, and you guys are going to find this is going to be a pretty common theme for the video. I think the thing that I probably struggle with the most with this car is the interior. The interior, in my opinion, feels extremely cheap. The steering wheel, cheap. This isn't real leather. This is like plastic, synthetic something. It is not real leather. This whole area feels cheap. These buttons feel extremely cheap. Piano black. Manufacturers, you need to stop doing this. Why? Because it shows every single thing. It scratches. This is an area that's a high touch area, and over time, if you're not careful with it, it is just going to scratch. It's going to look terrible. Stop doing the piano black. You know, right here, I mean, it's about the size of about 6 inches. It's actually, yeah, maybe a little bit less than that. I think just the interior. Now, this is a BMW interior. The seats are great. I do like kind of how this vent setup is. I think that looks pretty slick. But the interior, it's extremely dark in here. I'm glad this back window is as big as it is, because it's just black on black on black on black on black on black, and it's just really dark. And I've had some sports cars, so I get it. I know I'm being a little bit picky there, but that's one of the things. Another thing is they went all digital. Now, it's kind of cool how this gauge cluster is. It's kind of like carved out, you know, and it's different, right? But I wish they would have gone analog with something, or provided a boost gauge or some different electronics. I think would have made the car just stand out a lot easier. In regards to the electronics, if I'm in here, I don't have Apple CarPlay in here, and if I don't know how to do this and I've missed something, you guys let me know. But let's say I'm in here listening to my music for whatever reason. I don't even know why Sting is on. I don't even listen to Sting, but whatever. And here's the thing that I really don't like, and it doesn't make sense to me at all from a design standpoint. Because I don't have Apple CarPlay, if I don't change the song on my phone, I have to come all the way over to here to go back and forth from my songs. I don't know why it wasn't more over there. I don't get it. It's not that big of a deal, but to kind of reach all the way over here to change the song, or I can change it up here, I get it. But when I'm driving, sometimes I don't like to have to, dig through that. In regards to the infotainment, I'd say this is probably the most clunky or most confusing infotainment. You get like these lists of like 12 drop down menus. I'm not crazy about the infotainment on here. I think there's a lot of menus to navigate. I don't feel like I have really mastered everything on here and what it looks like. And, man, my average speed's 24 miles an hour. That's not right. No, I'm sure it is. But, just getting to certain things in here, you got all these different menus. It's responsive, but it's kind of clunky in my opinion. So a lot of this down here from media to menu, I don't use it. I don't. I was hoping that maybe you click this over to the side and it changes your song. Maybe it does, and maybe I just don't know, but it really just funnels through. It just really funnels through a lot of different stuff on here. And it looks cool. It's very BMW-esque, but I don't use it. The design and the button layout could be better, in my opinion. Another thing that I think is really just dumb, I don't like it, is I don't like all these light gauges over here. It's just, that's for your auto, that's for your lights and different things over there. It just feels kind of clunky. Over here, if you want to reset your mileage, it's right there. There's not a lot of customization that you guys can do on this main screen. Sure, you can see songs, you can see a couple different things, but it has probably been like the least technology advanced car that I've seen from like your main screen. Obviously everything is digital, from your gas, from your gas to your temperature to when it tells you that you need to put gas in the car. It's just all very digital. It's some of it's a little bit weird. I do think the gauge cluster kind of looks cool, the orange, the red, and kind of how they did like this 3/4 circle going up on there. I do think that looks nice, but overall just the interior of this car is probably my biggest beef. Another big beef that I have is with the stereo system. This is a stock stereo system in the car, and I realize for a stock stereo system it shouldn't be that amazing. But for me, I have to listen to the car literally at 3/4 volume to even just be able to have it at a decent, listening level. It is the weakest of any car that I've had from a stereo system. Now, granted, I could have upgraded to the JBL, but I've even heard that's not that great. And if you're paying all this money for the car, I think it could be better. Some of the hard plastics and things in here, this material on the dash, I don't know. I don't know if it's like this pleather or whatever it is, but it's just got a texture to it. It's been probably one of my least satisfying cars to detail on the interior, just because the materials are just different. It's just very plasticky feel. I haven't really enjoyed that. Another thing that I haven't liked on this car is, based on my seating position and where I want the seat to be, as I'm constantly driving down the road, I hear the seat rubbing up against this brace bar right here, and it's kind of very tinny. I don't like the sound of it, and it's kind of annoying because unless I want to sacrifice my seating position, it's just going to sit there and make that noise as I'm driving down the road, and I don't like it. Obviously, storage, you're not to expect a lot of storage in this car. It's not bad, it's not great, but really no compartment to really put anything in for the most part. And the interior is where a lot of my gripes and different things come from. Obviously with the automatic, and this isn't anything to knock Toyota, BMW, Supras on, but the auto stop start, all the manufacturers are doing it in their automatics. I wish, at a minimum, if you left it in sport mode, let it stay in sport mode. Next time you turn it on, every time it resets and you have to turn it off. Now, it's not a big deal. You just press a button. Pretty easy to do, but I hate that in these new cars. I just don't like it. It's a sports car. Now, if you want to do it in a Honda Civic or Accord or whatever, a Toyota Camry, do it. I get it. Those cars are for gas mileage, but these are enthusiast cars. I would even pay a couple $100 extra or whatever to not have to have that. So not a knock on them, because it's just more of an industry thing. But that's something that, not overly crazy about. Another thing, and it's a sports car. I've had a Camaro before. I'll do a video on visibility, but this windowsill is extremely, extremely small. I can't fit my head through this. When you're going through a drive-through, you're literally like talking up here to people. Like they can't see your eyes. You have to like duck down to see them. Front's not bad, but just kind of the design that they did on these side windows, not great. Obviously, buffeting is terrible in these cars. You go above 20, 30 miles an hour with your windows down, it is not a fun day. But there's a cheap, easy fix on Amazon, just a $10 part, $15 part that you can be able to put on your mirrors and make that go away. But the windows, I'm fine with the visibility for the most part, but when you are trying to get food somewhere or anything, it's really tough because these door sills, just for an example, this is a 44 ounce soda. It is, I don't know how well you guys can see that. A 44 ounce soda is literally like, I couldn't just hand this through somewhere. I would have to go like this, or without the straw, it would fit. But I mean, that is literally how tall the window is. Another thing, and I get it, it's a sports car. The ground clearance. This has 4.5 inches of ground clearance, and I am really careful with my cars. This car I have to be extremely, extremely careful with when I'm pulling out of parking lots or there's a dip somewhere. I don't know how people lower their cars without absolutely trashing them. I wouldn't lower this car. I wouldn't, because already at 4.5 inches for ground clearance, which I think was about maybe about half an inch to about 3/4 of an inch lower than what my Camaro is. It's really low, and I love it. It's great. It's what sports cars should be. But if you are considering, or someone who likes to lower your car and you don't care about tearing up the front lip or the end, I just don't know how people would lower this car a whole lot more without having a lot of damage underneath the front lip. But if you don't worry about that, then not that big of a problem. So those are the things that I don't like about this car. Obviously, guys, any car that you own, there's going to be things that you like, things that you don't like. I try to be very open, honest, and transparent in my reviews with you guys. These are just my opinions. These are my pet peeves. These are things I do like, things I don't like. I'm not just scouring the internet to go, oh, well, what does everybody not like about the Toyota Supra? At the end of the day, I love this car. I've really enjoyed it. Those are just some small things that I don't like. Maybe some small things that might be big things to you guys, or things that maybe might not make you want to buy this car. But at the end of the day, I just want to be fair to you guys. Those are things that I don't like. I'm sure there's more things that I do like that I haven't talked about, or things that I don't like. And obviously over time that changes. Perspectives change, things change. And that's why I try to bring to you guys different mileage updates on the car. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's things that you guys don't like about this car, leave a comment below. Let me know what doesn't work for you guys. Obviously, for a lot of you, space, if you're not used to being in a more compact sports car, you're not going to like this car. You're not. But at the end of the day, guys, I love it. I enjoy it. These are the things I don't like. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you on the next video.